right, ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I'm going to go over how to find the area of a parallelogram as well as a triangle. So with an area of a parallelogram, we have a formula of base times height. Now, I kind of dissected a parallelogram because I wanted you guys to be able to see how that works. So, and why the formula is the way it is. So usually with a parallelogram, it looks something like this. Again, not the best drawing, okay? But when we're finding the area, it's base times height. Now you might be saying, but that's kind of like doing length times width, and that's when we're dealing with a rectangle, but we don't have a rectangle. That is very true. Now, if I were to dissect this like I did, I took this sliver, okay, so this piece right here, and I moved it over here, okay? Now, if I take that piece, if I were to combine those two, then it would create a rectangle. So then we would actually have a rectangle and we could use length times width. Now with parallelograms, we don't actually say length times width because we technically have a base and a height that we're going to have to deal with. So this is how it's going to work. So your base would be represented as one of your long points, if you will. And then you have your height. Your height is always going to connect, your base and your height are always connected by a 90-degree angle box, kind of like this here. So your height is going to be represented here. So now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to plug in that information. So let's say we have base times height, which is our formula. And let's just say the height is, in this particular case, 1, 2, 3, 4 units. And let's say, whoops, the height is 4 units. Let me clear that out. And let's say our base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. So we're going to do 5 times 4, and 5 times 4 gives us 20. So what that means is that there would be 20 of these boxes. Now you might be saying, but some of them got cut off. Remember, if these two were to join in over here like that, those would be the missing pieces, and they would create like one whole piece. So think of it as kind of like puzzle pieces. So again, for parallelogram, basically all you need to know is that you're connecting your base and your height. So you're doing that by multiplying base times height. In this particular case, it was 5 times 4, and it gave me 20. Now I'm going to review triangle very quickly because you did learn this in 5th grade. Your triangle is half a base times height, okay? So basically to get a triangle, we would basically be cutting a rectangle or even a parallelogram in half. So when we do that, we don't need this piece. We only need half of it. So that's what we're looking at here. So in this particular case, we have 1/2 base times height. And some people do base times height divided by 2. Because you have desmos, I would just worry about using the 1/2. That works totally fine. Or if you want to use 0.5, you could do that as well. But I'm just going to keep that in desmos the same. Now our base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times our height, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I know half of 6 is 3, and 3 times 4 is 12. Again, you could put all of that in desmos if you wanted to, labeling what your base is versus your height and putting it in there. But that is how you find the area of a parallelogram in a triangle.